While animals provide a source of complete protein, non-animal proteins are incomplete. That is, they're low or lacking in one or more of the 9 essential amino acids we need in our diet. So, by eating a combination of sources, such as edamame beans with sesame seeds or brown rice with beans, incomplete proteins can be mixed together to make a complete protein.
There's one more component here which is important. A lot of the antioxidants in food are actually bitter, acrid, astringent, and on their own they are not really that palatable. So you can add a bit of fat, vegetable oil, you can add a little bit of salt, you can add spices, and the bitter taste goes away. So again, mixing and
Sounds
matching.
like kale to me. Fabrice de Klerk is Science Director of the Eat Lancet Commission. He says people are fundamentally motivated to make these changes for their health, but they would also help the future health of our planet as well.
The future as we in the Western world are currently eating, if it's adopted by the rest of the world, is absolutely catastrophic in terms of the amount of land it would require, amount of water it would require, amount of biodiversity it would require, and its impact on climates.
The UN Food and Agriculture Organization estimates the world has fewer than 60 harvests left if things continue as they are. Fabrice de Klerk says the food industry needs to make shifts.
So there's tens of 50,000 species of varieties of plants that are ready, willing, and able to jump onto our plate. We're talking about 150% increase in nut production and 50-75% increase in fruit and vegetable production and no increase in grain production.
You see, has sweet potatoes, he has black-eyed peas, he has okra.
Across the Atlantic in New York, Senegal-born chef Pierre Tian is making the final preparations ahead of the lunchtime rush hour at his new restaurant, Kironga, which means hospitality. It is part of the newly opening African Centre in East Harlem.
Made the base, which is a tomato sauce, which is like, you would think it's an Italian mama cooking it outside, but we do the same way. It's cooked slowly. It has all the flavors that's coming out. Sometimes you add seasoning to it. You know, seasoning can be from the fermented dawa, which is a locust meat that we use a lot in West African cuisine.
This is Pierre's third African restaurant in New York, and he's written a number of cookbooks. A lot of his common ingredients made the list.
We've got here a huge tray of delicious looking vegetables, basically. So sweet potato, okra, black-eyed peas. I think 3 of them are less huge of this.
There we go, without knowing. Like I said, this is the we've been eating for thousands of years. What I did is just bring it to my grandmother.
At 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, there is already a line of 5 people sick for lunch. The popularity suggesting perhaps more people will be open to using these ingredients as well.
Katie Silver on 50 Foods of the Future. You're listening to Health Check from the BBC. I'm Claudia Hammond, and today my guest is Dr. Graham Easton. Now, Graham, I'd be interested to know what you make of this tweet. Jeremy Farrar, who's the director of the Wellcome Trust, which of course funds masses of medical research all around the world, some of it on vaccines, has questioned whether, if we want people to have vaccinations, maybe it's not such a good idea to feature pictures of children getting injections on articles about it or reports about it, since most of us don't like having injections. What do you think?
He makes a good point, I think, when you think about it. The image of a child having a vaccine is so iconic that I can see why journalists are doing this themselves. I think when I've got a story here about vaccination, one picture I can use to illustrate that there's going to be a child having a vaccination.
We do it all the time on Health Check.
We do, I'm afraid, and often with a child perhaps crying and screaming. So it makes sense that actually this might not be that sensible. And I did have a little time to look through some of the literature on this, and there is some evidence from studies that actually negative images like that can start to put people off taking their children for vaccinations.
What could we do instead, though?
Well, you wonder, because the power of images is sort of undisputed in health message terms. For example, tobacco advertising campaigns to get people off smoking. The WHO recommend, based on the evidence, that images are so powerful, much more than just text and words. And so you think, well, yes, an image, but perhaps an image of a child with the disease that the vaccine is designed to prevent might be helpful. But again, I found another study from a few years back that suggested that even that sometimes can put parents off, because it starts making them think about some of the health problems that can occur in children, and they associate that with vaccines. So even that isn't an obvious answer. So it's complex, and I think ultimately what's going to help is a sort of personal approach from health professionals, that relationship often between health professionals one-to-one.
Now, have you ever been in such terrible pain that you can't even find the words to describe it, or can't convince your doctor quite how bad it is? New research says this can often happen to women with endometriosis, who wait, on average, 7 years to get a diagnosis. So before we hear about this, Graham, first of all, what is endometriosis?
Well, endometriosis is when cells from the womb lining in women implant grow outside the uterus, usually in the pelvis or the lower abdomen. And because these cells or patches are under the control of women's hormones or menstrual cycle, they can sometimes give rise to all sorts of symptoms, from pain, painful or heavy periods, fertility trouble, and bowel and bladder problems too, because sometimes they can cause stickiness of the organs. Not all women get the symptoms, but when they come, they can be severe.
Now, someone who did get very severe pain is Helen McLaughlin, who runs the London support groups for endometriosis in the UK.
Cramping, stabbing, twisting, bubbling almost at times, like something needed to pop. Like, do you have a tattoo? No.
I'm not brave enough.
Who has a tattoo and you get this itching? You know, if you burn your hands and the pain is just this itch. Sometimes it's incredible, sometimes you can't even think, you can't see.
And you kept a diary of your pain in the end as well. What sort of things did you write in that?
So I kept a pain and symptom diary after my friend told me about it, and I sent it to my surgeon, and I cried on it, and I begged him for a surgery to diagnose me. The pain that I kept a record of my leg pain, what drugs I'd taken that day. To be honest, it was just repetitive. I can't live like this. I don't want to die, but I want the pain to stop. And the leg pain, I couldn't go up and down the stairs to the toilet. That would be a twice-a-day trip because I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just the cramping, and I would take a hot water bottle and I would burn myself because that was nicer than the pain. My wound felt like it was trying to it was intense. The pain drives you mad, and you literally cannot communicate it. So it comes down to doing physical things. And for example, the one GP, I said to him, look, I cannot wear trousers. So right now I've got elasticated waist trousers on, and all my stuff are tights. I have elasticated waist because the pressure of having a tight jeans across you is too much, and they should be able to relate to that.
But new research from Dr. Stella Brullo, who's a senior lecturer in linguistics at Manchester Metropolitan University, has found that often doctors don't seem to relate to it, and that many patients find it hard to communicate the extent of their pain. She studied the experience of 150 women and found that 89% felt that doctors didn't believe how bad the pain was. Some of them even resorted to metaphors to try to explain it.
I feel like I've been stabbed with 1,000 tiny men.
That sounds so painful.
I know. Or other things like one very sharp stabbing pain. I feel as if someone is stabbing me with a rustic sharp knife, somebody said. Like someone's squeezing your insides. Like someone's putting a needle through you. It feels like being tattooed on the inside, somebody said. If you think about it, it's incredible what that's telling you, the severity of it. And also is giving you an indication of potentially the type of pain mechanisms that these women are suffering. In other cases, women say, I feel as if I have a ball blown up inside of my stomach that's ready to burst. So that's a different kind of pain. Think about there. There's a lot of inflammation going on in there.
And in your research, did you find that using these metaphorical descriptions to certain imaginative, did they help when it came to communicating with the doctor?
Well, some women said it helps a bit. Some women said, well, doctors don't really believe me. They feel like they dismiss me. They think I'm crazy. If you think about it, you're in a 10-minute consultation and you go from saying, I don't know how to describe it, it's really bad, or you use a cliche, oh, it's killer pain, or it's blinding pain. Yes, these cliches don't mean anything anymore. And then you push a little bit and you get this very elaborate thing. And it's understandable because the pain is so severe and the needs to communicate it is so overwhelming, but yet feel limited by the language, by how we can convey it. So you talk about how it feels, or you talk about the consequences. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I feel like I'm going to, be sick.
That's interesting you should say that, because one of the things that Helen, who I spoke to earlier, said was that however she tried to describe it, doctors didn't always take it that seriously, but they took it more seriously if she told them some of the consequences, that she'd passed out, fainted because of the pain, or that she couldn't wear trousers because it hurt too much, having something across her middle.
And when I go to conferences, for example, and present my work, and I start talking about pain, I have to explain what endometriosis is. I normally get out my bottle of morphine and show to people, this is the kind of pain that I am talking about. I have to take a very, very, very strong medication for it. And that is when people understand. That's when I get nodding, oh, or an expression of surprise. Oh, right, like really painful. That's what you're talking about.
So what do you think could be done to help women to communicate the pain of endometriosis better, or to make sure that doctors can understand what they're describing better and take it more seriously?
Well, that's one of the questions that I asked in my survey, actually. And about 40% of women said, well, it would be helpful for doctors to provide with some tools to help the description of pain, with some descriptive terminology, with some images, and I'll give you some quotes, some examples. This woman said, instead of doing a scale of pain, they could focus on where the pain is, the sensations it creates, and what the severity is throughout the day, including which activities make the pain worse. Another woman said, well, give an indication of, not just the severity, not just 0 to 10, but also how it feels. Does it feel like pinching, like pulling, like stabbing? Funnily enough, one of the metaphors that women have used that identified. Other areas where communication could be improved in the survey, and this is interesting, again, a high percentage of women said that they needed doctors to listen and to empathize. Somebody said, well, it would help if people took me seriously and didn't just tell me that it's normal to hurt, because it's not. Listen closely and believe what we're trying to communicate. Be more open-minded about the difficulty of describing pain and how to explain well. So as you can see, women are asking for that, for tools to help them describe pain, for visuals to help them map the pain, be able to point. We all communicate differently, Some people are good with words, some people are good with gestures. So perhaps some sort of sign, some sort of picture that shows hands twisting or something like that. So something that gives an indication of how it feels inside.
Stella, below. Now, Graham, you're on the other side of this as a doctor trying to understand the patient's pain, and I'm sure you're very empathic and listen to them very carefully and are very understanding, but how do you help them to do it?
Oh, this really resonates with me. I feel really strongly about this. I teach clinical communication to doctors and students. For me, it is about empathising and listening, but also teasing apart what people actually mean. And I think there are two dimensions to this. One is the terms they use to describe the nature of the pain. And sometimes the metaphors we use as doctors are not the same as the ones that patients use. They don't represent the same things. So, for example, a doctor talking about a urinary tract infection will often use metaphors like burning, or listen out for that word, and will associate it with urinary tract infections. But that may not always be the case with patients. So they become sort of flagged against a particular condition. Colicky pain to a trained doctor means that coming and going a bit like a wet towel, being twisted and untwisted, and often goes to mean some kind of hollow structure like the bowel or the ureters that run from the kidney down to the bladder, squeezing to help move the contents along, but coming and going sort of pain. And that doesn't necessarily mean the same for patients. So I think teasing apart what people actually mean and taking the time to listen is absolutely crucial. The other aspect is about the severity, and they were talking about patients saying, well, look, these scales of 1 to 10, they don't fit. And I totally agree that we should offer much better, much greater range of ways to describe things that fit people's own situation. So, for example, there are scales that use facial expressions There are scales that don't use 1 to 10, they just say drawing a line where it is roughly between here and here. There are others which use your own experiences of pain as benchmarks, so you create your own scale. This is when I had a baby, this is when I was in a car crash or whatever.
Objective Alpha is neutralized. Objective Charlie is now under our control. Have eyes on hostile chopper just west of where you are at.
你的衣箱来了，拿好。
Objective Charlie. Due west of your location, there appears to be an enemy foe.
충격이 딱 두 배니까 하루가 짧아 매일 그리움은 쫓아올라 이대로 시간을 멈춰서 네 마음을 속삭여줘 So make it count 오늘을 기억해줘요 옅은 바람과 꽃 피우던 1분 1초를 make it count 그럼 난 영원해져요 모든 순간을 모아 그대에게 줄게요 겨울이 가도 너가 내리듯 모든 게 아름다워지면 그때 꼭 다시 말해줄게요 끝없는 시간을 함께 너 예쁘다 오늘따라도 So make it count 오늘을 기억해줘요 옅은 바람과 꽃 피우던 1분 1초를 make it count 그럼 난 영원해져요 모든 순간을 모아 그대에게 줄게요 꿈꾸던 날처럼 언제나 그 옆을 지킬게 말해요 make it count baby I like you baby 어디가 그렇게 좋냐고 묻네 Baby wait a sec 손가락 몇 개를 다 접어줘 이유를 다 세지 못할 만큼 Just like you baby 이걸론 부족해
말해 뭐 이거 아가씨 조물주의 masterpiece 거짓말이야 난네 말할게 너 찾아다닌 거래 지구 한 바퀴 반대로 넌 내가 왜 좋아 맞으면 혼나 야 밀리몬 밀리논 빌리온 트릴리온 말해줘 일일이
거쳐만 수백 가지 그 속엔 100만 가지 네가 좋아 해가 두 번 뜰 때까지 옆에 있어줄래 같이 말해주고 싶어 네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 I like you baby 어디가 그렇게 좋냐고 묻네 Baby wait a sec 이틀을 쉬지 않고 말해도 끝없이 말할 수 있을 만큼 Just like you baby 이걸로 보지
너가 얼마큼 좋냐고 이 세상 컬러의 숫자를 매기게 어려운 수어도 몰라도 사랑도 한 번째 구배 baby 코끝을 간지럽히는 몸이 찾아온 듯이 꼽히는 내 맘에 나비가 된 나와 나에게 시세 난또 설레잖아
거쳐만 수백 가지 그 속엔 100만 가지 이유들로 네가 좋아 baby 해가 두 번 뜰 때까지 옆에 있어줄래 같이 난 말해주고 싶어 네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 yeah
원해 내 맘이 너를 원해 그저 무려도 예쁠래 thriller 영화는 싫은데 너와 함께면 10번을 가는 okay 몸에 나를 위해 줄래 Five star S line for me Six 반짝 매력에
네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 네가 좋은 이유가 millions millions millions
original like you
oh yeah 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 네가 좋은 이유가 millions 똑같지. 엄마가 4일 동안 깔아서 저 햄버거 그 와퍼 주니 와퍼인가 와퍼 주니. 아버지 준 심어서 와. 커커피. 제로 다크버즈. 제로 다크 세트. 자, 방향 종료.